Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to my all friends and especially my lecturer, Elyas Sulaiman Mohandas. My name is Hazim bin Azmi. I am from MU 223 Faculty Music or Business. For today, I will do activity 10 informative speech main idea practice 3 organizational patterns topical. For the topical, I will describe the statistic from all parts of the worldwide about their sleeps. So, this is the data show a shocking worldwide lack of sleep. It's not only you stifling a yawn. A worldwide lack of sleep is leaving us all falling asleep on the job, and it's an issue. For many, sleep has become an almost unattainable commodity, a luxury reserved for the fortunate few who don't feel the various string of responsibility pulling them in 1,000 directions at once. Having to work full-time, care of family, hang out with friends, and find time for the gym leave precious little time for sleep. There is also the competitive aspect of missing out on sleep, which is when those people who are constantly pushing themselves to achieve do so at the expense of adequate rest. In 1942, 8 hours of sleep was the norm. Now 6.8 is the average. Altogether, this worldwide amassed sleep debt is one large alarm bell. New data from Sleep Cycle has now shown that no country in the world managed to achieve 8 hours of sleep on a regular basis. As the recommended range of sleep for an adult is 7 to 9 hours a night, this highlights a worrying lack of sleep throughout the world. Worldwide statistics. According to the data, not one country out of the 48 that participate manage an average of 8 hours of sleep at night. In fact, in Japan, the national average is 5 hours and 59 minutes, representing a drastically low sleep average for the country. The 5 worst countries for average hours of sleep in order of worst sleepers include: first, Japan, 5 hours and 59 minutes. Second, Saudi Arabia, 6 hours and 8 minutes. Third, Sweden, 6 hours and 10 minutes. Fourth, India, 6 hours and 20 minutes. Fifth, the Philippines, 6 hours and 22 minutes. When the minimum amount of 7 hours of sleep a night is taken into considerations, it's evident that this country have an inordinately high sleep depths, falling well below their sleep needs. For comparative purpose, the best 5 countries for average sleeping time in order of most hours achieved includes: 1. New Zealand, 7 hours 30 minutes. Second, the Netherlands, 7 hours and 28 minutes. Third, Finland, 7 hours and 26 minutes. Fourth, Great Britain, 7 hours and 24 minutes. And lastly, Ireland, 7 hours and 22 minutes. The highest total hours were achieved in New Zealand, where 7 hours and a half was the mean. When each country's average are collated, this gives us a worldwide average of only 7 hours and 2 minutes spent in bed, which is only just scratching the surface of the recommended hours of sleep. Dr. Michael J. Bruce gives a dire warning concerning sleep deprivation. Population are at greater risk for a number of chronic diseases and mental health disorders, as well as challenges to daily life and relationships. These are dangerous and expensive problems. Worldwide productivity and sleep. Of course, Spending less time asleep could mean that those countries that achieve less sleep actually achieve more overall. However, when reviewed against global statistics, this is clearly not the case. In fact, though short sleepers, Japan ranks 6th in the world in the global competitiveness index. They are eventually rare exceptions. The Japanese accept napping or inamori in the workplace. So, though they may have a incredibly low nightly sleep time, this does not include bouts of napping that likely occur throughout the day. Napping in the day is a common habit in ASEAN culture, with high population count and increasing demand for 24 hours service making sleep nearly impossible. The 5 worst countries of sleeping according to sleep cycle are nearly all Eastern. The productivity in these 5 countries could be put down to cultural acceptance of napping in public for at least 4 or this result. The top 5, however, are all Westerners countries, with all but New Zealand being based in Europe. This is likely because sleep in this country is more affected by seasonal changes. However, there are an array of different factors that have to be considered where sleep is an issue. The widespread availability of electricity and demand for 24/7 service, 24 hours service have definitely affect how much sleep which we achieve, with the fear of missing out leading individuals to delay their bedtime and shorten their sleep. Great Britain managed a sleep time of 7 hours and 24 minutes, with most falling asleep at 23 hours 44 minutes and working at 7 hours and 24 minutes. For most, their time may have seemed fine, but as these figures are an average, the statistics show that though there may have been selection of candidates who successfully achieved 8 hours, there were also a great deal that fell very short of the mark. Age and sleep. Of course, a higher percentage of people older in age could have an effect on the statistic, with those aged over 66 needing only around 6.5 hours of sleep at night. However, those aged 2 under will sleep on average 40 hours, as the physical demand that growing place on them will leave them in constant need of rest, as there is a higher number of young people worldwide than there are elderly people. The fact that the data still show a relatively low pupil average per nation is particularly worrying. If the adults in this nation were achieving the recommended amount of sleep, then the data will show a higher average, as the figures will be skewed by babies sleeping for long stretches of the day. Instead, the long period that children sleep for has no effect on the data at all, signifying a strong likelihood that many other adults achieve much less than their nation nightly sleep average. Next, chronic sleep deprivation has been reported to be associated with greater mortality via a large number of negative health outcomes, including obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. According to Dr. Malcolm Van Scans of the University of Surrey, what this means is that if this statistic remain true or even decrease, then there are increasingly higher chance of worldwide population related with health complaint caused by something very preventable. So this is the statistic sleep on the world right now. The 5 good at sleep and 5 bad at sleep. So that's all for me for statistic or about topical about sleep. Thank you.